Hi, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your May 16th, 2022 full moon reading for you. This is a full moon, a lunar eclipse, and a super blood moon, so it is really quite intense and a really special moon. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Now, this full moon and lunar eclipse, it brings the earth directly between the sun and the moon. And in this brief moment of alignment, the sun's radiance, which symbolizes the ego and all that is immediately visible in our world, that courses through the earth and into the moon, which is the domain of the internal, of the invisible, of what we deeply desire. The moon carries our history. And the sun during this time is going to expose, through its light and reveal suddenly and profoundly a truth that needs to be seen, something that has been held back within us. So this is going to be a time where all of a sudden revelations are had. All of a sudden we're seeing things more clearly, more openly, more honestly. It can be just a glimpse. It can be a moment where we're sitting there and it's like, oh my gosh, I feel, just kind of like I was taken out of where I am right now, put into where I want to be or what I really need to see. And then again, we're right back where we were. So just being aware that this can be very intense. It can be very sudden. And it's like a light bulb it's not a light bulb, it's a spotlight is put on, and then all of a sudden it can be dimmed, it can be turned off, but that light is going to be what guides us during this time. So let's look at the energy we need to be mindful of during this moon. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. This one right here. Now, this full moon is in Scorpio. Again, it is a lunar eclipse. It is a super blood moon, and it is the flowering moon because of the flowers that bloom during this time. But it's also a sense of we're flowering, we're blooming, we're becoming who it is that we need to be. We're deeply driven by our feelings, and also everything needs to have meaning. Everything needs to have a deeper connection. Shallow relationships, they're not something we want during this moon, and especially for the 2 weeks afterwards, where the effects of this moon are still so profoundly within us. The energy to be mindful of is the Eight of Swords. Virgo, we're going to overthink, overanalyze, look at things from 18 million different angles and try to say, okay, this is it, or that is it, or, this is exactly the way things need to be. And we're going to put ourselves into a box instead of letting things be more free, be more calm, be more flowing. And I'm just seeing the flowing of the imagination. It's like Spirit is saying, open up your mind, because here we need to be mindful of having a very closed mind, a very rigid way of seeing things or way of understanding things. And that is going to be something that is detrimental to us during this time. So let's look at our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading. This is nurturing. This is the Earth Star chakra located 6 inches below our feet. We need to nurture ourselves. We need to nurture the world around us. This is a time where we're giving. And Virgo, we're very good at giving. We also need to know when to stop giving, and when to say, okay, that is enough energy that I've poured into something. So this is going to be a time where we're finding that balance. But again, we're pulling from the earth. And as an earth energy, okay? And the sun is in Taurus, so that earth energy is very profound around us during this time, we're very guided. We're very guided by feeling grounded. We're very guided by having plans and greater understandings, which, again, we have to be mindful of taking to the extreme and overthinking, overanalyzing, over-planning, okay? It moves us then to what the moon has to say. And we're going to do the Celtic cross with the moon cards and see what the moon is telling us. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Oh, goodness. And spirit guides, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Okay. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. So just going to turn everything over at once. Okay. So let's look at where we are right now, which is right here. And it says adjustments are required. The moon is telling us that we're going to need to change the way that we're looking at things, the way that we are, working towards things. Adjustments are going to be required. And again, because the energy is so strong of us being in our own heads so much, this rebalancing, this greater understanding, these adjustments, they can be overwhelming for us. And it can almost feel like, well, why did I put in, I'm just seeing just such frustration. It's like, why did I put in so much time, so much effort, so much work if I'm just going to have to change everything? We're not going to have to change everything. We're just going to have to step out of the rigidity. The thing that is going to be challenging for us is boundaries. That's going to be something that we struggle with during this time. To have the boundaries to say no to people, to have the boundaries to say to ourselves, okay, you know what? We're overthinking, overanalyzing this. We need to have boundaries with ourselves, with the way that we're talking to ourselves, because I'm just seeing very emphatic personal speak, which can be very negative. It's like, why are you being so stupid? It just keeps on coming up. And it's like, why are you being so harsh on yourself? Boundaries are going to be important. And just knowing that what we're thinking about, we start to manifest. That energy vibrates around us. And I know energy vibration and manifestation, it gets a bad rap, but it can't always change the inevitable, right? Sometimes especially when somebody is sick or something is horrible, as much as we think it positive, we can't change another person's course, or we can't change the lessons that have to be learned. But what we're going to see here with the boundaries is if we're looking at things through a different mind space, and if we're looking at things and we're seeing ourselves be able to move forward, I'm just seeing doors opening, and I'm just seeing a sense of our boundaries are working for us, because it's like, no, I'm not feeding this nonsense, or things that used to resonate with us, or things that we used to be drawn to. Now they're not, because we're having these boundaries and we're saying, I need this positive space for my mind and for myself, for me to be able to move forward. And it brings us then to what we're focusing on. And we're focusing on the fact that there's powerful change. This is the new moon eclipse. And we have a lunar eclipse during this time. And so with this eclipse coming forward, we are experiencing powerful change. We know that there's a change around us and that we're stepping into new energy. The blood moon has, us looking at something different, right? The moon turns red. We see it differently. Something that is in the sky all the time, all of a sudden we're looking at it through different eyes because it's presenting itself differently. Change is all around us. We need to embrace that change. We need to understand that change. And we need to move forward knowing that, change is a part of us. And Virgo, we might not want that change because we like our earth energy. We like things to be grounded and steady and stable, but it's going to be important because I'm just seeing us be able, again, to walk through that door and be able to see the change that we want, because we are creating something so different. That's why we're getting out of our own way. That's why we're looking at things through different eyes, and it moves us to our past, which we hunger. We're very used to hungering, to longing, to fighting, to needing, to saying, okay, this is what I'm dedicating myself to, or this is what I'm fighting for, or this is, where I need to be. We've hungered for it. And there's a sense here with this moon that a lot of our longings are going to come forward. A lot of the things that have been driving us before, a lot of what we thought was unobtainable. And that's where the hunger is coming from. There's such a sense here of, I've wanted this, I've looked for this, I've worked towards this. Now I'm going to see the doors open. But we have to be very mindful, because what we're hungering for can become our obsession. So instead of, opening up the door gently and nicely, it's kind of like coming in guns blazing and saying, okay, this is how it's going to be right now. And we need to be calmer with the energy around us. We need to be calmer with the way that we're stepping into what we want. Now, our greatest strength is that we're working through our fears. And this is going to be what really empowers us during this moon. And this full moon is in Scorpio. So the fact that the new moon here is in Scorpio, and it says, work through your fears, that energy is going to be very personal to us. It's not going to be the spotlight of the full moon. It's going to be the personal insight of the new moon that says, okay, what are you afraid of? What holds you back? What do you want? What do you need? And it brings us then to our near future, which we are protected. The moon protects us. It guides us. It sees us. It understands us. And it's not the moon. We can name it Luna in the sky and, say, okay, it's this abstract being. It's our inner self. It's the quiet of the night. It's the many faces that we wear as we evolve and we see. It's our history. It's our connection. It's our silence. It's our truth. And it brings us then to our approach, the way we need to look at things. And our dreams need a practical plan. We need to approach things and say, okay, you know what? I need this practical, personal plan to move me forward. The full moon is, the sun is in Taurus. This full moon is in Scorpio. Those are sister signs. They play off each other. They can be the best of friends and the worst of energies. And energies? Well, yes, but enemies. And if you have a sister, you know you can build each other up or you can tear each other down. So here, there's that energy around us of our dreams need a practical plan. And we need to work through our fears. We need to see what it is that we truly want, what it is that we deeply desire, where it is that we need to be. And then what we need to know is that we need to have patience. We need to have patience with ourselves because we're not going to have any. Our patience is very short during this time. And it's kind of like, well, it should already be. It should already happen. And Spirit's saying, if it took so long to get to this point, why is it supposed to change overnight? And how is it supposed to change overnight? Now, our hopes and our fears are that the energy is gaining momentum. The change is coming. And we hope for that. We deeply want it. And yet we're terribly afraid of it as well. It's like, oh my gosh, am I able to? If the energy gains momentum, where does that lead me? What does that lead me to? What is my future? What am I? And the moon is making us look at our potential, which is a path we didn't think we'd walk, which is a way forward that seemed out of bounds or out of reach. And this moon is saying to us, what's wrong with this path? Like, what's wrong with opening up this door? That's what this time is for us, Virgo. It is an opening of the door. It is a seeing of ourselves. It is a greater understanding. And it's like, what's wrong with this? What's wrong with moving forward this way? What's wrong with saying, I can do this? Because there's something here that's holding us back. And it's boundaries. It's not having the clear boundaries with our dreams and our desires and how we want to open the door and, looking at what we're hungering for and just thinking that hunger, that longing, that's what life is. It's always that longing for the next thing. And what Spirit is saying here is like, no, it's not just the longing for the next thing. It is the looking at and achieving our goals and what we want and saying, I can be content. Even if we are only content for, a couple of days. Embracing that contentment, embracing that pleasure within ourselves, and then seeing what comes next. So let's look at what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Okay, so, I'm going to pull cards. Well, one card. If more come out, then it will be more for each. And this is the past, and then we'll have the present, and then the future. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Oh, goodness. And of course, it falls on the floor. So let me just pick these right up. And we have here the 8 of Pentacles and the 3 of Swords. So there we go. And then finally, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Ooh. And spirit guides. So, again, one's just slipped on the floor. I love that they're making themselves so known, but also cumbersome to get to. So that's going to be like this time where it's making itself so known, it's being so clear, but it's also going to make you kind of work for it, work for the knowledge that's coming, work for the energy that's moving us forward. Angels, okay, this one, and spirit guides. So we have here, we have Cancer and the 9 of Wands for our past. We have, again, the 3 of Swords and the Knight. Oh, I think I said 8. The Knight of Pentacles, which is very good. This is us coming through as a knight. The 8 of Pentacles is hard work. And so why that energy came forward is because we're working so hard to move ourselves forward, to get to where it is that we want to be. And then we have the 4 of Pentacles. So with the Cancer energy, there is a sense of taking the reins. You know, Cancer is represented by the Chariot in the major arcana. There is a sense of taking the reins, knowing what we want, but also Cancer is ruled by the moon. This moon is going to have a greater effect on us than we realize. And it's leading us to the 9 of Wands. It's leading us to realizing that a lot of the battles have been won, that has been done. And as we stand now, we look at not only how we have to heal, but also what we want for ourselves. This is a time where we're really looking at us and saying, where do I want to be? You know, what do I want? And this is a time of opening up our mind. We are also going to feel like, it's interesting because our mind is a bit bruised, meaning we've taken on a lot and we've had to fight through a lot mentally. It might not be physical battles that we've been through, but they're mental battles that we've been through. And that has changed a lot of the way that we see things. It brings us then to the 3 of Swords. We're looking at a lot of the heartbreak, the pain, the disappointment, and this is in our present that has shaped us. And we're looking at it and saying, you don't get to rule me anymore. This doesn't get to be what defines me. And with the Knight of Pentacles, we slowly and steadily move forward towards where we want to be, towards what's important to us, towards what we want to see developing within our own lives. And the 4 of Pentacles in our future is a release of vampiric energy, a release of energy that isn't flowing through our bodies, flowing through ourselves correctly. We have blockages. We have walls that we've put up. And it's because of the hurts and the pains. It's because of the 3 of Swords. It's because of those hurts and those pains and those disappointments that we've put up walls and said, you know what, no. And we're going to see that actually as they come crumbling down, it's because somebody said this negative thing. And it's because of this, you know, hurtful experience. And all of a sudden, we're going to find that as we're stepping into what we want from life, we're stepping out of a lot of pain that has defined us or, you know, it has made us. So again, when it says work through our fears, what we're also working through is our negativity, is the hurt and the pain and the disappointment that has just been such an integral part of who we are. It moves us to our subconscious Lunar message, and it says, believe in the impossible. As the darkness comes, as the eclipse comes, believe in the impossible. Look at things in a new and different way. And it brings us then to our subconscious tarot message, which begins with the 10 of Cups. In our past, it's like This is the happy family. This is the joy. This is the success. In our present, we have the 10 of Wands. These are all the burdens that are put on us. And it's almost like if I want to remain happy, I have to live up to an unreasonable expectation. And Spirit is saying, what are you putting on you? How much are you putting on yourself that is draining you, overwhelming you, and not letting you, live the life that you want? In our future, we have the Empress. We have that happiness. We have that joy. We have that connection. We have that love coming forward. And there is such a sense here of I am creating what I need and I am letting myself shine. There is such a sense of I am giving birth to what is deeply wanted within my world. And all of a sudden, the fears that have held us back, the anger that has held us back, it's dissipating. It's dissipating, and now it is a time of creation. The energy to be mindful of is the Four of Wands. There's something here, because the Four of Wands, I just see marriage. And it doesn't mean that we have to be mindful of marriage, though for some, it may very well be mindful of the marriage. But for others, it's very much saying to us, be mindful of the commitments that we've made. Be mindful of what we're saying, I have to give myself to 118 million%, or else I'm failing. Because we're putting so much time and effort in, and we're not seeing that same return from others. So be aware of that. It moves us to our chakra energy, which is holistic health, the root chakra. At the root of us, it is saying, take care of yourself, Virgo. Take care of your body and yourself and listen. Listen to what your body is telling you. Listen to what your soul is telling you. Listen to what is needed right now. There's health within us. There's guidance within us. And Spirit is saying, yes, of course, medical doctors and everything, fantastic. But also a gentler approach to our bodies and to ourselves. That's also something that's very powerful. All right, Virgo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as we embrace the power and intensity of this moon and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Virgo, and may you have a blessed moon.